And we got Peter King in net at one end, Thomas Heemskerk in net at the other. And the referee's about ready to drop the puck on game number 2 of the weekend series between the Perth Thunder and the Adelaide Adrenaline. We're underway. Jessica Bernard wins the opening face-off. It goes all the way back to goaltender Heemskerk, and Woodman comes behind the net to control. Tries to play it out on the right wing, can't do so. He's turned it over Corstens. He turned it over though, gave it straight to Dorr, and now the Thunder break out of the zone on the right wing. Bernard has the puck. He stops up deep in the right wing corner. Looks to play it back to the line for Hazelhurst, who shoots. Blocker save early from Heemskerk. Saw that from a long way out. The puck stuck in the skates of Dorr, who receives a hard hit as he plays the puck around the wall. Going to collect it is McGuinness for the Adrenaline. And they'll break out of the zone. It's a right wing pass. Goes off the skates of Rezek and into the zone. Woodman looked to control, but he lost it. And Daj had an early shot denied by Heemskerk. Tries to play it back in front. Chopping shot there from Corstens. Just knuckled in on Heemskerk slowly, and he was able to cover the loose puck, but a poor turnover early there from Jamie Woodman nearly cost his side.
Yeah, it's unusual to see a turnover like that from Jamie Woodman, but the Thunder really did well to create a chance on the rush earlier than that, but then again they were forced onto the outside, and then it was Adelaide getting one of those chances from closer in the lower slot.
There's only a 43-second shift for the top line for the Thunder as the Cox line comes out, and he plays the puck back. Kudla had a bit of trouble controlling it initially, but then found Harrop, who looks like he's playing on the right wing of the Andrew Cox line, and they went in offside to the zone. Jordy Kairos was in ahead of the puck, so they'll have a face-off just outside the zone. That's interesting to see. I'm not sure whether Kieran Webster is dressed tonight. I did see him downstairs, and he didn't look like he was warming up with the rest of the players, so I'm not sure whether there's possibly an injury there or whether he's been shifted down the lineup. I'm not 100% sure, but Kieran Webster not taking his usual spot on the right wing of Andrew Cox.
Yeah, very interesting.
So we'll find that out as the evening progresses, as Cox wins the face-off. There's a battle for it on the near wall, and in the end, Harrop comes up with it. He tries to play the puck deep into the zone, but that's cut off immediately by the Adrenaline defence, and they'll break out on the left wing, although the pass into the zone is broken up by Kudla. He plays it back to the line. Adrenaline keep the zone initially. Now they find their way out of there and dump it back in. And Kudla will go back to collect behind his own net. He stops up under the pressure there from Carbonate. Of course, the coach of the Adelaide Adrenaline at the moment for the interim for this weekend, as the puck is played left wing for Cox, who just dumps it deep into the zone. And the Thunder go for a change. The Liam Jeffress line, the third line, comes out now for the Thunder, and they have the Adrenaline hemmed deep into the zone. Good hit late on Jeffress there, but he managed to play the puck only as far as an Adrenaline player. And now Daj on the left wing. His pass is broken up by Hazelhurst. He looks to play it deep into the zone. Can't get a deep entry, and now it comes back the other way. And Woodman in his own zone just banks it off the wall and gets it out to centre. Adelaide player miscontrolled the puck, and Jeffress tried to step by, couldn't do so, and now that's another turnover. Here comes Daj with speed through centre. He has to drop it off there for Corstens. He's sealed to the wall by a couple of Thunder players. One of them's Hazelhurst. It's played in deep. Woodman just reverses it around the wall. Coming down for the Adrenaline to collect it. They play it back to the line. The shot comes through from the defence, and it's well wide of the net. Stepping down is McGuinness to play the puck. He's sealed to the wall, and Hazelhurst manages to play it up and out to centre. Thunder will be able to complete a line change as the Adrenaline play it through centre. Miscontrolling it there was Oddie, and going back was Hazelhurst to collect. But it stayed in the zone here with on the stick of Carbonate, but he's lost it out to Bro, and now the Thunder come the other way with speed. Bernard in on the right wing, drops it off for Dorr. Good defensive stick from the Adrenaline defenseman, who just plays it up and off the wall the length of the ice. Doesn't go far enough for icing, so Campbell goes back to control, defenseman for the Thunder, and plays it up to Kudla. Tried to play it up off the wall, couldn't get it past the Adrenaline forwards. Looked to play it back in front of the net, but Bernard, a good defensive stick in there, manages to get control and play it up the wall. It's still in the Thunder zone. Managed to play it cross ice, and Bernard can't pick up the puck. Manages to get it out of the zone. Just plays it cross ice to Dorr, who's on the right wing. Tried to step around an Adelaide forward. Managed to do so. He's lifted it from behind centre red. Referee says no icing. And the Adrenaline go back to control. They play it quickly up through centre. Bro, a good little shot to get it in on net, and King had to make a quick save on the deflection from Bernard after Bro just had a turnaround slap shot from the blue line. And now the Adrenaline have it once again behind the net. Reversing it up the wall is Huxley. And now the Adrenaline will be able to skate out on the left wing. Puck's picked up in stride. Might be Best out there. There's a player wearing the number 16. We'll have to find out who that is. As Campbell controls the puck in front of his own net for the Thunder. Manages to get it out of the zone with the help of Bernard. Back to centre. Thunder complete a partial line change. They haven't been able to get it in deep for some time into the offensive zone. Campbell has to go back behind his own net to control after the adrenaline dump it in. Now Woodman. He's sealed to the wall by Oddie. And Oddie comes in. Puck battle in the right wing corner for the adrenaline in their offensive zone, and Cox manages to skate away with the puck with speed now. He breaks through centre, gets around the check there of Corstens. In on the right wing, Cox looks to break back in front, plays it there for Harrop, but he had it knifed off his stick, and the adrenaline will break out of the zone here through Carbonate. He comes in on the right wing, big hip check put on him by Hazelhurst, makes him lose control of the puck, and Kairos just scales it off the wall and out of the zone, and going back to collect is O'Connor for the adrenaline. We've had about 5 minutes of consecutive play with 10 minutes remaining in period number 1. No score in this one as Hazelhurst just scales it in from centre red, and the Thunder complete a line change up forward. And the adrenaline come out of the zone with speed. Here's Darge just controlling his way through centre. In fact, it's not Darge. It might be McGuinness who comes in on net. He barrels into Heemskirk. And we'll have a stoppage in play as Heemskirk covers the puck. There's a big scrum right in front of Heemskirk's net. And the player coming in there was Cole McMillan, as a matter of fact, who barreled into Heemskirk with speed. And we finally have a stoppage in play.
Yeah, I mean, Cole McMillan really coming in fast. He did well to dangle around about 2 guys and create the chance for himself, but it was just the not stopping at the end, and Thomas Heemskirk giving him a bit of a shove as they went to ground. But really, a great fast-paced sequence of play that we saw over the last about 6 minutes. After we got a stoppage in play just there, the Thunder really are hemmed back in their own zone quite a bit. They're struggling to get the puck deep, like you said. They haven't really been able to generate any high percentage chances. I think the best one that we've seen so far is that bro shot along the ground that clipped Peter King's pad and ended up in his glove. But yeah.
Now the face-off is coming outside the zone. I think it's because that rule with the defenseman getting involved there. So the puck comes out of the zone and the adrenaline win. And going back to control in his own zone is Huxley. Looks to play it out on the right wing. Only gets it as far as Punler, who's just ahead of centre red, and he has a diagonal cross-corner dump. There's a delayed offside here for the Thunder as they have to tag back up. Bremner manages to get himself back on side. The puck looks to be played through centre, and that might have collected Bremner in the mouth, that puck, as the adrenaline looked to work it back in front, and a good defensive stick from Punler on the scale in by McMillan. Manages to get it away, and now here's Bro with speed through centre, looking to handle his way in towards the net. He got it in on Peter King, but was checked off the puck, and the puck manages to find its way to the corner, and the adrenaline will come up with it. Playing it through centre was Carbonate. Got it as far as Campbell, who'll control it at centre red. And then that cross-corner dump once again seems to be the theme of the day for the Thunder. And going back behind his own net to control is Cole McMillan. He plays it up the line. Carbonate, he's checked to the wall as he tries to escape on the left wing. Now a puck battle on the left wing wall, just inside the Thunder zone, near the blue line. Players battle for it. And the adrenaline initially came up with it, but Hazelhurst controlled the attempted dump in. And now he plays it up ice himself. And the Thunder get in on the forecheck. In there's Huxley. He checks the puck away from his Thunder opponent. Played around the wall. And going back is Bernard. He controls it in the right wing corner. He plays it back to the line for Hazelhurst, whose shot is along the ice surface and easily saved by Peter King to the corner. But good forechecking pressure coming here from the Thunder. Peter King came out to play the puck and was out of position, but the adrenaline managed to clear the zone. Corstens just puts a high shot in on Heemskirk, and he covers the puck. In fact, it was Rezek, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Thomas Heemskirk. 7:53 remaining in period number 1. We have no score.
The Thunder did well. The import line seems like they're clicking a lot more than they did yesterday. I thought they were struggling to get into a rhythm yesterday, and they're clicking well today, but then it was just giving that breakaway chance up at the end that was sort of what killed them.
So the adrenaline win the face-off in the offensive zone. Oddie did well. Played it up the wall, and now it's in behind the net where Kudler and Oddie battle for the puck. Kudler managed to play it around the wall, and Kairos will pick it up and control for the Thunder. He steps out of the zone, plays it up ice, but the adrenaline defenseman managed to control. Left wing pass there from the adrenaline. Looks to break out, but it only goes as far as the stick there of Kudler. Looked to play it up ice there by Noddle. but controlled in the defensive zone by O'Connor. For the Adrenaline, he looked to play it up and out of the zone, but it's kept in at the line by Kudler initially. But now there could be a break on with Oddie for the Adrenaline. He drops it off to his line mate. Shot comes in on net. It was tipped off the stick of Corstens, and easily able to get the glove on it was Thomas Heemskerk. Will have another face-off to his right.
Yeah, the Adrenaline did well to get into the offensive zone there again, creating a great chance on the rush, but the Thunder defenseman doing well to push them a bit to the outside and then getting the stick on that shot that probably ended up troubling Thomas Heemskerk a bit more as he wasn't able to read the release with the deflection.
So the face-off won by the Adrenaline again in the offensive zone. They've done that a few times. Sack ends up controlling the puck. Well, Webster is dressed. He's on the ice now, and he receives the puck on the left wing. Plays it in front for Hamilton, who can't deflect it in on net. There's a pile-up in front of Peter King, which includes Peter King, as Hamilton lost an edge and went barrelling into the Adrenaline goaltender. Not much ado after that. Hamilton was well checked as he was going towards the net, and we'll have a face-off likely to the right of Peter King.
Interesting to see a bit of line juggling from the Thunder. As you said, we thought Kieran Webster wasn't dressed before when he didn't come out with the second line, but now looks like he's out there with our regular fourth line on the wing.
Which is interesting because he's been in outstanding goal-scoring form this year. As the Thunder win the face-off, look to establish a forecheck. McMillan looks to play it up the wall, looking to work it out of the zone. Was foul, couldn't do so. Shot comes in on net, and it's an easy one for Peter King to save with his glove, and we'll have another face-off to the right of the Adelaide netminder. The crossbar above Peter King is packed at the moment at the opposite end of the rink, so a good turnout there to see. There's a few seats upstairs still, but probably 2/3 full.
Yeah, I think it's filled out a lot more since puck drop even.
Yeah, it's a good crowd as Bro has a shot off the face-off, and it went just high over the top of Peter King's net. Bernard controls behind the net, look to play it up the wall, but it comes out of the zone, and Hazelhurst has to control at centre. Skates back to his own zone. And now the Thunder managed to dump it in from centre. But McMillan will come up with the puck for the Adrenaline. Just skyhooks a puck into the zone. Hazelhurst goes back to control. He'll look to play it up off the wall there for Bro. They couldn't control, and it's dumped back in by the Adrenaline, and Heemskerk comes out to control behind his net. Woodman plays it up the wall, or caromed off the skates there of Dorr, but he managed to have enough time to go back and pick it up, and he skates through neutral ice with speed, gets in on the right wing, drops it off for Bernard. Bernard couldn't control the puck, and it's cleared out of danger by the Adrenaline defence. And Woodman goes back to control, plays it for Bernard, whose cross-ice pass ends on the stick of Hazelhurst, and he'll come out of his zone to control. He'll look for the pass through centre with Michael Dorr, and that's called for icing, even though Dorr clearly led the race to the puck. Dorr was about to control the puck, and he was called for icing.
I thought he might have touched it up as well. But I mean, there was a questionable icing call yesterday that, I mean, at risk of sounding like I'm being a homer here, and it resulted in an Adelaide goal. And for the exact opposite, the exact opposite reason. I'm sorry, them not calling icing when it probably should have been icing, and now they're calling icing when it maybe should have.
It was a definite non-icing call. The Thunder don't like it, but it's going to be a face-off to the right of Thomas Heemskerk, and Bernard wins the face-off cleanly back to his defenseman Kudler, and they'll be able to skate it out of the zone on the left wing. Managed to get it to centre, but Corstens breaks up that play. And going back to control in his own zone is O'Connor. And they look to come up ice, although Dorr stops it up at the line. He puts a low slapper in on Peter King, and he just controls that off the chest. And we'll have a face-off to the left of Peter King. With 5:27 remaining in period number one, there's no score.
We've just had confirmation that number 16
is Jake Riley.
And I can tell you number 18, he hasn't got a name on his back, but it's Kane Fedor.
Kane Fedor, thank you. I'll have to keep those ones in mind. Not on my my team list that we had here initially, so apologies to those guys. As in the slot, looking to control is Cox. But he loses control, and coming away with it, skating down ice is Fabian. He looks to have a shot on net, but that was blocked down by Punler, who goes back behind his own net to control, and then plays it up the left wing wall for Kairos. Kairos skips away from Corstens. Tries to play it back through centre, but that's blocked down by an Adelaide stick. Good defensive play coming back there by Punler, and the puck ends up on the stick of Kudler, and the Thunder could have a break here, a 3-on-2, although the pass was a bit behind Kairos. He has a shot on net. King makes the save, but couldn't control the puck. Then looking to play it back in front was Kairos, and King got a stick on it and covered the loose puck, and there's a little bit of words being exchanged behind the net between the two teams once again. And there's been plenty of spite so far in this game with 4:47 remaining in period number 1.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that one of the better defensive plays that you'll see out of Alistair Puntler, that's definitely what he's there for, throwing his body around, being physical. And I mean, you hear people say, I think he needs to throw his body around a bit more, and that's exactly what he was doing, and he bailed Thomas Heemskirk out of having to make a big save there in the low slot. Good
defensive positioning from Alistair Puntler. Stop that chance. And now we have a face-off to the right of Peter King. The Adrenaline through Oddie win the face-off cleanly. And they go to work behind their own net. It pops back out in front. It rolled off the stick there of the Thunder forward in Hamilton. And the Adrenaline come the other way. And McMillan came in ahead of the puck. So it was going to be a delayed offside. But the other way comes Webster, who shoots. Save made by Peter King. It went in behind the net. And going to work there is Carbonneau behind the net. It popped back out in front. Peter King smothers the loose puck. And we'll have a face-off, and we'll also have a bit of an altercation here between the players once again. And the face-off will now come out of the defensive zone because both defensemen have gone in to push their weight around as well. Rob Hazelhurst and Jamie Woodman not afraid to, well, particularly Hazelhurst not afraid to get himself involved in the physical play. We'll have another face-off. This has been a very chippy game earlier. It has to be said. A lot left over. A lot of bad blood left over from yesterday after the confrontation late in that game.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things that sort of the first period and probably the first half of the second period were a bit quiet, and then we sort of started to see tempers flare, and now some of the guys exchanging pleasantries in front of the net really early in the game, a lot earlier than you see last time. And I think we're going to see two guys go to the box here on conflicting minors. It looks like Carbonneau
and it could be Sean Hamilton is the Thunder player going to the box. So Hamilton and Carbonneau will each they'll sit for a couple of minutes, I'm guessing, for roughing or unsportsmanlike conduct, one of those two penalties. So they will sit for a couple of minutes each. And we'll have some 4-on-4 hockey with 4:19 remaining in period number 1. There's no score here at Perth Ice Arena. I hope you're enjoying the Thunder Radio broadcast wherever you might be listening around the traps. There's plenty of people around, particularly in the Adelaide area.
Madeline Goranson is always listening despite Per Daniel being suspended for today's
sitting
game.
On the sidelines today,
from Sweden.
So from Sweden we get guys from British Columbia listening in. We've got guys from Scotland listening in.
And we'll have Per Daniel on in the first intermission.
We will, yes. In a few minutes' time, we'll have Per Daniel Goranson on. He'll have a chat about what his season's been like so far with the Thunder. As the Adrenaline win the face-off, Corstens plays it cross-ice off the wall, and Hazelhurst will go back to control in his own zone. Plays a cross-ice pass for Bernard. Thunder going with 3 forwards in the 4-on-4 here. I beg your pardon, it's 5-on-5 at the moment. Which is interesting, but still playing with Bernard as a defenseman at the moment.
They do like to do that when they.
It's power play for the Thunder. That's why
they do that when they have the advantage.
As Bernard plays it for Hazelhurst. I thought it was 4-on-4 because there's a Thunder player in the box, but it's a power play for the Thunder, and the cross-ice pass from Bro is broken up here, and Adrenaline could have an opportunity short-handed through Corstens, who takes it to the right-wing corner, then stops up, and he is checked hard by Hazelhurst and checked off the puck. And here comes Dorr the other way with speed, gets in over the centre of the line, stops up on the left wing at the face-off circle. He'll play it back to the line for Bernard. He manages to keep hold of the puck as he skates around the circle, plays it down low. And it's played back up to the line now for Bernard, who steps down with a shot, and it goes just wide of the net. Might have been deflected on the way in off an Adelaide defenseman, and they managed to get it up and out of the zone, the Adelaide defence. And they'll get a partial change, but only a partial change because here comes Bernard in over the line once again. Played down further by Sack. It's back to the line for Hazelhurst. He's at the right point. Looks to play it down low once again. But the Thunder lose control of the puck, and the Adrenaline managed to scale the length of the ice. That's a good clearance. And it's hopped just in front of Thomas Heemskirk. Had to make a nifty little save between his pads. And he plays the puck up ice, and the Thunder managed to gain the zone again on the power play. But first there is O'Connor. He plays it around the wall for Darge. Darge looks to play across ice. It's kept in the zone. And now down low, the Thunder come up with an opportunity. Webster's shot on net is sealed up by Peter King. And we'll have a face-off to the left of the Adelaide netminder with 2:24 remaining. And there's, I think it might be only 5 seconds remaining in the penalty.
Thunder doing well on the power play there, but I mean, like you said, a great clearance by the Adrenaline, getting the puck up ice straight onto Thomas Heemskirk's net. Kieran Webster's been playing a great game so far. He's created a lot of scoring opportunities and has really been a standout player for Perth. So
Andrew Cox will centre the forward line here with Webster and looks like Bremner on his left wing. Cox wins the face-off cleanly back to Kudla, who shoots, it's deflected, and score! Putting it in front for the Thunder. It might have been Andrew Cox. It might have been Andrew Cox who's put that one in. The save initially came from Peter King, and on the rebound, the puck's been put into the net by, well, it's a right-handed Thunder player, that's for sure.
I think it might have been the Adelaide player's stick that tipped it in. But
no, it might have been behind the net. Andrew Cox is claiming it at the front of the line. If it is the Adelaide player, it'll be David Kudla.
I think it was Cox that put the puck onto Peter King's pad, who gave up the rebound to hit the stick of the Adelaide player and went in.
So that will count as a power play goal. We'll find out the official scoring in a moment.
It will be for Andrew Cox. I'll take my headset off and listen to it.
Will count as a power play goal as just as time expired and late in period number 1, the Thunder have taken the lead 1-0. 2:19 remaining in period number 1. And as the puck is dropped to restart play, Thunder win the face-off through Bernard, and Kudla looks to play it through the centre of the line. It's played back to the line by the Adelaide defence, but kept in the zone by Bro. Now played back to the wall and around by Dorr. In behind the net, the Thunder go to work. It's played back up to the line. Here's Kudla. He shoots, and the puck is covered after it was tipped in on net by Peter King. 1:58 remaining. So that'll be it'll be Andrew Cox's goal. Assist goes to David Kudla.
Cox, Bremner, Kudla.
Cox, Bremner, Kudla. Thank you. So it'll be a goal for Andrew Cox, the standing captain, while regular skipper Sam Wilson still sits out with that arm injury. So it's great to see for the Perth Thunder power play, who haven't been particularly good as of late, to put one into the net as the Adrenaline win the face-off in their defensive zone. A low shot on net came from Rezic, and a stick save came from Heemskirk as it went away to the corner. And now coming the other way, good breakout pass there from Bernard, looking for Dorr. Dorr looked to get around the defence, but couldn't get his stick on the puck, and the Adrenaline will come up with it in the defensive zone, although good defensive play there by Kairos to get it away from Corstens and scale it deep into the zone as the crossbar starts to make a bit of noise with 1:25 remaining in period number 1. It's 1-0 Thunder. As wheeling behind his own net is O'Connor. He'll go back behind there for a second time, although good forechecking pressure here from Harrop on the puck. And now they force them onto the wall behind the net. And coming out with the puck is Fabian. He plays it up the wall, but not out. And now the Thunder play it out off their own stick, and Punla controls back at centre. Passes to Hazelhurst, who's his defensive partner. Gets it to Harrop, and now Kairos on the right wing at the dot. He's looking to play it back to the line. He skates behind his own net. Now plays it off the wall for Hazelhurst. Managed to keep the zone just. He chips it up off the wall. Played there by Cox. Gets it there to Hazelhurst, who's skating in on the right wing now. He shoots, and the short side sealed off by Peter King. It goes in behind the net, and it's worked up the wall and out of the zone by the Adelaide defence. Now with speed coming the other way. And a good defensive stick by Punla on the play there by Fedor. And there's a penalty. It's about to be assessed here. And going to see what it's for. There was a puck battle in the corner. And the puck's coming out of the zone. Maybe it went up and hit the netting in the puck battle.
I didn't see anything there. I think it was a good clean hit by Punla on Fedor, but it looks like Carbonneau going to the box, and the mist is sort of covering up which Thunder players went into the box. So
there's two players going in the box, one for each side. So there's going to be likely 4-on-4 hockey, I'd say.
Well, you never know after what happened before. It could be a Thunder power play.
Well, there was a double minor assessed to one of the, and that's number 24 that's gone up on the board for the Thunder. So that's going to be Andrew Cox, who's in the box, because David Kudla's on the bench, and he's the only other one who has a 4 on his jersey.
Yep.
So with the captain Sam Wilson injured, and for the Adrenaline, it's Graham Carbonneau who's gone to the net. Each have been assessed 2 minutes. The face-off is going to be to the left of Thomas Heemskirk. There was a little bit of a feisty battle on the wall there, so maybe the referees just decided, you know what, I'm going to take control of this because it's got very chippy in this first period.
Yeah, I think that's a good angle to approach it from.
It certainly is, because it has threatened to get out of hand at times. So each 2 minutes we'll play 4-on-4 for 2 minutes as the Adrenaline win the face-off and look to establish a forecheck behind the net. Rezek looked to play it back through the slot, but here comes Bernard as he breaks up that play. He's in over the centre of the line. Good defensive stick from the Adrenaline. It played back there. A big slap shot fired in by Dorr goes just high of the net. We've got 2 seconds and 1 remaining in the period. Battling for it behind the net. Played back to the line. Here's Hazelhurst. He shoots. Now the time has gone off the clock. The rink announcers are saying the horn isn't working at the moment for one reason or another. So that was interesting. You could see the time tick off the clock, but the horn did not work. But it was the end of a period and an entertaining one from both teams. Good physical play. A bit of snarl involved in the game as well. And you can hear that coming through our effects mic nice and cleanly. As the two teams will skate in, and one will be a bit happier than the other after a power play goal from Andrew Cox. The Perth Thunder lead 1-0.